In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and God separated light from darkness.
The Chibcha is one of the highly developed civilizations, ranking with the Maya, the Aztecs, and the Incas. In the age of the Empire, a great and ancient elder of the sages of the Indians named Bochica made a pilgrimage of many days with the chiefs. They came to their deity to cry out for strength and greatness. Returning to the savannah, where the waters that flooded the land struck the rocky barrier with fury, Bochica looked up into the sky and touched his staff to the rock. And to the amazement of the Indians, the rocks and the mountain parted as if it had been made of sand. And so the waterfall was formed. Extraordinary beauty and power. Into which all the waters that flooded the land of the Chibcha flowed. The rulers recognized Bochica's power, but no one suspected that the magic used by the sage belonged to the dark scriptures. The spell he cast opened a portal between the worlds of the dead and the living. In 1923, the Hotel del Salto was built in the tiny town of San Antonio del Tequendama, in front of a waterfall that still keeps its secrets. The heyday of the hotel was in the middle of the last century, when it had 18 suites with bathrooms and fireplaces, as well as a restaurant with a terrace. But at the end of the 1970s, Roberto Arias became the new owner of the mansion. The Hotel del Salto was a place where the wealthy from the capital came to rest with pleasure. In those days, they began to discover strange patterns. Every life on Earth was given a precious time, the expiration of which no one knows. People whose time on this earth was coming to an end, Del Salto attracted, enticed, and forced them to stay as close to him as possible. The close connection between the soon-to-be departed and the time of their stay at the hotel became a pattern and a terrifying statistic. What was it that the walls of this building, whose exterior view was unmistakable for its exquisite and beautiful architectural appearance, so carefully concealed? Shrouded in mystery, the deaths occurring in the vicinity of the hotel after a time caused the inevitable collision of the world of the living and the dead. Passing residents often saw one and the same appearance in the windows of the hotel. To the surprise of many, these appearances were described with a detailed precision that horrified the local police. How was it possible to describe the same appearance to people who had never known each other before, but who gave identical descriptions of what they had seen and heard in the hotel? In addition to the looks flashing through the windows, people also heard explicit dialogues, the gnashing of flesh and bones, the constant talk of transitions to another world. Putting them all together, it seemed that those who had ended their lives had been deceived, and the portal that Bochica had opened demanded payment to enter the afterlife. As it turned out, the walls of the hotel were safe, unlike the elements of nature which encapsulated the gaze of the visitors from the windows of all the rooms which overlooked the Tequendama Falls. A 137-meter waterfall that was nicknamed the Open Door by the Indians who inhabited the river valley at the time. It was they who had a ban on approaching the place, preferring to bypass it, spending up to 2 weeks of their hiking. Such was the price to pay for bypassing and shutting off from their view the tainted waterfall with the dark scriptures that Bochica had uttered. They believed that spirits lived in this place to help them cross over to the other world. However, the spirit world did not forgive the local passers-by, for this world is not for the living. The Indians, whose way of life was coming to an end, used the waterfall as a means of passage to the afterlife. The element of water, tainted by dark magic, penetrated their consciousness. And engendered a sense of imminent death and a meeting with the Creator, opening them a passage showing them the true and only way to cross over to the world of the dead. In those days, often pursued by conquistadors, they threw themselves off a cliff as a family and, according to legend, turned into eagles. In the 20th century, when the hotel was closed, in the absence of vacationers, interest in the abandoned hotel arose in those who decided to end their lives. When they learned about the portal, as soon as they approached the waterfall, the spirits whispered to them about the inevitable and only passage to the world of the dead for the living. Not just rumors began to circulate, but masses of information and reports to the police that bar fights were being heard within the hotel walls, sudden distinctive screams and constant human voices speaking in more than one known human language. Any of these facts could be explained by the great popularity of the hotel and the packed rooms. But how to explain all of the above when no one had been in the hotel for several years? The hotel took on a whole new look for itself, and the forms of life that filled its walls became so varied that its expanse took on an unrecognizable appearance. The locals still believe that the hotel has long had new masters and does not belong in the world of the living.
Ha ha ha!